Welcome to Horrible Fates, where the most unexpected and tragic endings to seemingly ordinary lives are examined. We will take some time to explore the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of everyday existence. Welcome to The Cellar. December 8th, 2024, 8:30 p.m. 27-year-old Jerisha Wilkerson was in the process of driving her car over the Mathews Bridge when it broke down on her. To give a little backstory, the Mathews Bridge was constructed in 1953. It is a cantilever bridge located in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville is a city located in the northeastern quadrant of the state of Florida. The bridge is 1.5 miles or 2.4 kilometers long and spans the St. Johns River. The Mathews Bridge itself has a long and dark history. Most notably, lead singer Fred Durst of the band Limp Bizkit rapped about the bridge in the intro to the song My Generation. My Generation was a track featured on the band's smash hit album Chocolate Starfish in the Hot Dog Flavored Water, which released in October of 2000.
To the Mathews Bridge.
Fred Durst's line about "take them to the Mathews Bridge" is a double entendre. On one hand, Fred is telling John Otto to play a specific part on the drums, while on the other hand, he is referencing the Mathews Bridge and its dark history with people going there to self-delete. The band's reference helped to shine a spotlight on the bridge's dark past. But the bridge's history continues to live on, as in 2015, a man involved in a traffic accident on the bridge chose to jump to his end. Now, if you ask residents of Jacksonville, Florida, many will tell you that they dislike driving over the bridge. Jerisha Wilkerson was now finding herself in a bad situation. Not only had her car broken down, but it had broken down on the dreaded Mathews Bridge. The bridge only has 2 lanes of traffic on either side and little to no room for a car to stop and get out of the way of oncoming vehicles. Jerisha Wilkerson was on the phone with her girlfriend as her car came to a rest. The last thing her girlfriend heard her say was, "This stupid car." Not long after Jerisha's car came to a stop, a pickup truck crossing the bridge would smash into the back of the disabled vehicle. This set off a chain reaction as an SUV then smashed into the truck. In the other lane, another 3-car accident would ensue. At this point, the bridge was a mess with wrecked vehicles blocking both lanes. Soon enough, police, fire, and paramedics would arrive on scene. 10 patrol officers and 3 sergeants responded to the vehicular mess. They immediately began tending to those injured in the accident. With seemingly everyone accounted for, the police tried to piece together what exactly happened. Jerisha's car was looked over, and inside the police found her cell phone, but they soon realized that Jerisha was nowhere to be found. The police at first didn't know what to make of this. Had she fled the scene, or had she fallen from the bridge? According to eyewitness reports, no one had seen Jerisha leave the area. 7 days would pass with seemingly no answer, but then a discovery was made. Jerisha Wilkerson's body was located in the river on Sunday, December 15th, 2024. She was floating about 3.5 miles away from the bridge. Homicide detectives would arrive to investigate, and Jerisha's body was recovered and transported to have an autopsy performed. As of now, no further answers have been made public, but it is believed that the police are treating her case as a traffic homicide. Which horrible fate did Jerisha suffer? Was she struck by a vehicle on the bridge? Did someone toss her over the edge and into the watery depths below? Was she still alive when she went over the bridge? There are still so many questions yet to be answered. Let me know what you all think in the comments section below. And as always, I want to send my deepest condolences to all of Jerisha's family and friends. November 1983, San Francisco, California. James Ferrozzo, otherwise known as Jimmy the Beard, was a longtime employee at the North Beach Club. One night, while working, Jimmy and his new girlfriend decided to fool around after hours. Jimmy's girlfriend was 23-year-old Teresa Hill. Teresa had just moved to San Francisco 2 weeks earlier from Seattle, Washington. She was hoping that a move to California would be good for her, and one night, while out and about, she had met Jimmy at the club and really hit it off. As the two became intertwined with one another, they ended up against the piano located within the club. This particular piano had a long and storied history, as it was a prop used for many years at the club by dancer Carol Doda. As Jimmy scooped Teresa up, he placed her on top of the piano and climbed on top of her. In the midst of their passionate embrace, one of them tripped the piano's up button. Before they even realized it, the piano began its ascent to the ceiling. Now, it's not clear if Jimmy and Teresa just continued on or if they even realized the danger they were in, but soon the piano reached the ceiling and the pair were forced up against it. The pair were trapped and there was no one around to help them. Hours would pass by and eventually 7 a.m. came around. A janitor would arrive at the building and would be the first person to find the pair in their precarious situation. The janitor swiftly contacted police. Police and fire would arrive on scene and they would begin the process of lowering the couple back to the ground. It would take hours, but at around 10:15 a.m., the pair were finally lowered back to earth. Sadly, it was too late for Jimmy the Beard. He was pronounced deceased at the scene due to asphyxiation. But miraculously, Teresa had managed to survive. Teresa was taken to Mission Emergency Hospital, where she was treated for bruises and was able to go home that same day. In the end, she was just grateful to have survived the horrifying ordeal. I can't imagine not only being crushed between the piano and the ceiling, but being stuck there for what probably felt like an eternity. It seems that Teresa's small stature is what saved her, while Jimmy was a big and bulky 240 pounds. In the end, it was a horrible fate that no person should ever have to endure. As always, I want to pay my respects and send my condolences to all of Jimmy's family and friends. February 2025, Planalto, Brazil. 14-year-old Davi Nunes Moreira was hanging out with some friends of his. Now, it's not clear if what came next was due to peer pressure or some sort of dangerous social media challenge, but Davi and his pals found a dead butterfly. Davi then decided he was going to do something drastic with it. Davi got his hands on a syringe and some water and began to mix the dead butterfly into the water. After breaking the deceased butterfly down as best as he could, Davi grabbed the syringe and placed the tip into the mixture. He then pulled up on the plunger, and the water and butterfly remains filled the needle. With the needle now full, Davi proceeded to stick himself in the leg. He pressed hard on the plunger and pumped everything inside the syringe into his body. Now, it's unclear how long it took, but Davi's legs started bothering him. At first, it was an ache, but that ache soon turned into a rolling pain. Davi tried to tough his way through, but his dad noticed him limping around the house and asked his son what had happened. Not wanting to reveal the truth, Davi told his father it was just an injury from playing around. As the limp and pain got worse, Davi began getting ill. His parents were growing more and more concerned and decided to take him to the local hospital. At the hospital, the truth was finally revealed as Davi came clean on what he had done. Doctors were baffled at this turn of events. Davi's father would eventually locate the syringe under his son's pillow, fully corroborating his story. Davi would soon be transferred from the hospital in Planalto to a specialized facility in Vitória da Conquista, the third largest city in the state of Bahia, Brazil. Doctors would work tirelessly to solve and fix what was going on with the young man. It's said Davi was in increasingly excruciating pain. This pain would continue day after day. After a full week of suffering, Davi would pass away with his family by his side. Medical personnel had done all they could, and now it was time to try and figure out what had taken Davi's life. Some doctors believe that the toxins contained within the butterfly mixture may have caused Davy to suffer some sort of septic shock. Others hypothesize that it may have been the result of an embolism, which can lead to sudden death. Dr. Luis Fernando de Relias was quoted as saying, "We don't know how he prepared the mixture or the size of the fragments he managed to inject into the body. There may have been air left inside the syringe, which could have led to an embolism." A butterfly specialist named Marcelo Duarte had some further insight. He stated, "Butterflies have a complex biology, and the fluids present in their bodies have not been studied in depth in terms of their toxicity to human beings." Whether it was an allergic reaction, septic shock, an embolism, or infection, what we know is that Davy suffered immensely before he passed on. I tried to find an update on his autopsy results, but I could not find a single news outlet talking about this story beyond the initial reports. My biggest reasoning for including this story in today's video is to show my younger audience how dangerous a decision like this can be. In a prior video, I discussed the young Australian man who ate a snail and suffered immensely. In both these videos, young men made decisions that were intended to impress those around them or the internet. The consequences were dire for both. So please, really think before you do something like Davy. You truly have no idea how horrible the fate may end up being. As always, my deepest condolences go out to all of Davy's friends and family. Johnny Lloyd Turner was born in Bledsoe, Kentucky on Christmas Eve, 1947. Johnny would attend Pine Mountain Settlement School as well as the Red Bird Mission School growing up. Following high school, Johnny joined the United States Army. He served as a medic in the Panama Canal Zone from 1967 to 1969. Following his military service, Johnny would go on to attend Union College, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in 1974. Johnny would continue his studies at the University of Kentucky College of Law, and in 1977, he earned his Juris Doctor from the institution. For those that don't know, a Juris Doctor, otherwise known as Doctor of Jurisprudence or Doctor of Law, is a graduate entry professional degree that primarily prepares individuals to practice law. Johnny would practice law for a large portion of his life. He worked as an attorney for the Harlan County Public Schools, operated a private practice, and became the attorney for the city of Cumberland, Kentucky. After many years of practicing law, Johnny Turner would turn his focus to politics. In 1998, he was elected to the Kentucky House of Representatives. By 2002, Johnny began his run for the Kentucky Senate, but ultimately came up short. In 2020, Johnny would give the Kentucky Senate another go, and this time around, he was elected. Johnny Turner was well known for his steadfast support of the coal industry. He was a man that believed he could make positive change within his Kentucky Appalachian district. Johnny had a folksy, down-to-earth manner to him, which ultimately endeared him to his constituents and colleagues alike. With some backstory out of the way, we will now jump to September 15, 2024. 76-year-old Johnny Turner was at home doing work around the house and in his backyard. With the lawn needing to be mowed, Johnny went and grabbed his gas can and approached his riding mower. He fueled it up and was ready to go. The sun was bearing down. The smell of fresh-cut grass emanated from the ground beneath Johnny. He was in his groove, enjoying the sunshine and weird sense of tranquility that can only be found within the noise of the lawnmower's engine, drowning out the rest of the world. As Johnny continued, he became lost in the moment, and it only took a split second before Johnny and the mower went toppling end over end. The pain was intense as Johnny surveyed what had happened. He and the mower had fallen into his recently emptied swimming pool. The damage done was severe. Paramedics would be called, and Johnny would be rushed to Harlan ARH Hospital. His wounds were so severe that the decision was made to transfer him out of state to Knoxville, Tennessee's UT Medical Center. Doctors would work hard to save the senator, and Johnny fought valiantly. For 37 days, he battled to stay alive, but on October 22, 2024, Johnny Lloyd Turner passed away at 76 years of age. As always, I want to send my condolences to all of Johnny's family and friends. A big thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in to another episode. If you enjoy the content that I make here on the channel, then please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. YouTube seems to be suppressing my channel as of late, so a simple like and comment would go a long way in helping the algorithm push my video. Also, you can check the description box below and find the link to my merch store and a link to my membership tier for the channel. For only $2.99 a month, you can help support my channel further, and you get some cool perks to go with it. One of those perks is having your name listed here in the end of each of my videos, so thank you to all my Cellar Dweller members. Also, if you'd like to submit a real-life scary story of any kind, please do so using the email linked in the description box below. As always, I do all the research, writing, recording, and editing for the channel myself, so anything that you do to help support the channel is greatly appreciated, and until next time, I will see you all again as we head back into the cellar.